can grow anything in a green stalk.
So I know that probably wasn't super helpful.
Y'all don't make me pick.
Never mind these beans right here. Hey y'all, it is a drizzly day in Virginia today, but it is also the second part of the collaboration between me and Barbara from A Gardener's Journey Homestead here on YouTube. And we are answering the last 5 questions of the 10 questions that you ask about green stalks. But another pretty exciting thing is I have a giveaway and it kicked off yesterday. Greenstalk is allowing me to offer you a giveaway of a 5-tier green stalk, any color that's available on their site at the time. And the only thing that you have to do is go and fill out a form. Takes about 15 seconds. I did it myself to test it out. So if you are interested, there is going to be a link down in my description. I also did a short in case you want to go to the short. If you get to any link and it is not working, just copy that link and paste it into your browser and you'll be able to enter the giveaway. You do not have to have Instagram. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to subscribe to me. I would like it if you did, but you don't have to. Those are not part of the rules to enter this giveaway. So if you're interested, please enter the giveaway and good luck. I appreciate you for entering. I hope that you win. And thank you, Greenstalk, for allowing me to offer this giveaway. So what are we gonna do today? We're gonna answer your last 5 questions. Me and Barbara. Barbara lives in Tennessee. We are both in zone 7. And so just because we're in the same zone does not mean our gardening looks the same. It does not mean that we are doing the same thing because we are not in the same area. So we thought it would be pretty cool to bring you 2 people in the same zones to see what we do the same and what we do different. When we talked, we realized that we had a lot of the same questions, and so we decided we would go ahead and answer them. I will put a link to episode 1 down in my description as well so that you can see that if you had not. And so make sure that you go and visit Barbara's channel. I think that you will enjoy it. She has a high tunnel on her property. She has outdoor gardening space. She has in-ground gardening space. She has green stalks. I think that you would love her channel. So make sure you go and visit Barbara's channel. Make sure you go over there and hit like. If you enjoy it, make sure you stay and make sure you subscribe, y'all. So maybe you're new here and you have never heard of green stalks. Green stalks are vertical planters that take 2 square feet of space. So you are going to grow up instead of out, and you don't have to dig anything. You don't have to build a raised bed. They have 4 different options, and someone reminded us of the 4th option in the video last week. So I'm gonna start with that. There's an option called an inventor's bundle, which includes what we call the leaf planter and the original planter. So you get 3 levels of leaf planter, which are shorter planters, and then 3 tiers of the original planter, which are deeper pockets. So that's the inventor's bundle. And then you have just a 7-tier leaf planter. So they have the shorter pockets with 7 layers, and you can plant 42 plants in that planter. And then you have the 5-tier, which is a deeper pocket, and you can plant 30 plants. So it's 5 tiers with 6 pockets. Then the last one, which I just decided this year I actually do like, are the 3-tier. And the 3-tier are the deeper pockets, but you only get 3 tiers of them. I very much enjoy growing in green stalks. I am trying to grow any and everything I can in mine. So I have grown zucchini. I'm growing cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, beans, strawberries, herbs. If you are in a space where you do not have the ability to put in raised beds or to put in no dig beds, things like that, I think green stalks are great. And I am actually in a space where I can do that, but I am able to grow more of the things I like. So this year I was able to grow way more flowers than I have been able to grow in the past. I had these as an addition to the garden beds that I already have. In the fall, I want enough broccoli to preserve for hopefully 6 months. So I'm gonna use these planters to grow my leafy greens like my collards and my kales and my kohlrabis. Those are not leafy greens, but my point is I'm gonna put those kind of things in the planters, and then I'm gonna use my main garden for broccoli. Although you can plant broccoli in these green stalks too. So that's a little bit about green stalks, how I plan to use them. I just think they're very, very useful, especially if you're trying to maximize your space or if you don't have a lot of growing space. So now that you know a little bit about Greenstalk, you know about the giveaway, I've told you about Barbara, let's get into some of these questions.
Can you grow potatoes in a green stalk? Y'all, I'm going to say yes because I've seen Asia do it on her channel and I've seen a couple of others, but I have never done it myself. And y'all, I didn't even think about growing potatoes in my Greenstalk because again, I just assumed that you couldn't until I was talking to Asia and I saw her video that she grew tons of potatoes in her Greenstalk. So you better believe your girl is going to be doing that. I think I might try it this fall, but definitely next spring. And so that's why it's always good to collaborate and to watch other YouTubers instead of just one specific person, because they may be doing something that you have not thought about and that they may have taken what they called a risk. And you're like, man, I would have never thought. So yes, you can grow potatoes in a Greenstalk. Now, what I am doing is I'm trying sweet potatoes for the first time. So when I took my onions out, I had a few sweet potato vines left over. And so I'm putting in my Greenstalk, and you can see right now she looks real healthy. Now, whether or not there's going to be some potatoes in there, we don't know. But I have 1, I have 2, 3, and 4. So I have 4 sweet potato vines that I had left over that I put in my Greenstalk, and we're going to try out and see if we can grow sweet potatoes in the Greenstalk. But when it comes to regular potatoes like Yukon, russets, red potatoes and all that, yes, you can. I have never done it, but I have seen other YouTubers like Asia who has done it very successfully. So I would say go ahead and put you some potatoes in there and try it out. I'm starting to realize that the Greenstalk is a container, just like if you had a container on your back patio. So I'm pretty sure I'm thinking you can grow anything in a Greenstalk. That's what I think. Asia, what you think?
I absolutely can. I grew a nice amount of potatoes in 2 tiers of my Greenstalk, and I am planning to plant my fall potatoes in 2 Greenstalks, not 2 tiers, a full Greenstalk. So basically 30 pockets of potatoes is what I plan to try. I got a nice harvest of potatoes out of my Greenstalk, and I used the eye. I did not use the full seed potato, so I cut the eyes off of a potato, and I got a really nice harvest. So to answer your question, you absolutely can. I would suggest though making sure that you fertilize often with a all-purpose fertilizer. I will say when I pulled my potatoes from my Greenstalk, I was very surprised. Some of them were larger than the potatoes that I pulled from my bags, but I actually fertilized my Greenstalks with a all-purpose fertilizer way more than I did the bags because I couldn't get down my main aisle in the garden to fertilize, so I just didn't really do it. So I would suggest that fertilize with the all-purpose fertilizer, but the answer is you absolutely can, and I had an amazing harvest this year from the Greenstalk. Do I fertilize from the top or each pocket? I do both. And so for me, I water and fertilize from the top. It just depends on what's going on at the time. If my Greenstalk is very dry or if I am trying to water deeply, I water each pocket first. And then I let that water kind of seep in, and then I will water from the top. And I might do that twice just to make sure I get the Greenstalk watered very deeply. Now, let's just say I was growing beans with zucchini. I would fertilize the zucchini more than the beans because I have found that beans just don't need a lot of fertilizer. But let's say I'm growing all peppers. I would fertilize from the top because they all need to be fertilized the same way. For me, it just depends on what I'm growing and how I'm growing it, whether I put it all through the top or whether I do each pocket. Just know watering from the top has worked for me. I don't have a problem with it. It's just that depending on how my soil is and what I'm growing, I may do every pocket too. So I know that probably wasn't super helpful. Just know that if you want to water or fertilize from the top, it does work.
Do I water or fertilize from the top, or do I water or fertilize each pocket when it comes to the Greenstalk? I get that question a lot. And so when I first got my Greenstalks, I used to water and fertilize from the top. So when it comes to watering, I would fill up a 2-gallon bucket with water and I would take the top off and I would pour water in it and let it trickle all the way down until I saw water coming out of the bottom. That would usually take, now on the 3 tier, I can usually do it in 1 2-gallon, but in the 7 and the original tier, that would usually take 2 to 3 times, especially in the hot summer. And so when you count that up times 7 or 8, that becomes a lot. That becomes a lot. So I did used to do it that way when I first got my Greenstalks. Now I actually do kind of each pocket. And so there are many times when I am watering specifically, I will just use my hose pipe and I will just spray down each pocket. Or if I am doing something, I very rarely direct sow in my green stalk. Usually I am putting transplants in, but when I do direct sow, I will overhead kind of water with the hose pipe to make sure that soil is moist and germinated and I can mist it, and I don't want to do it from the top. So I'm usually using my hose pipe and I'm doing every pocket that way. That's a lot quicker and easier for me. And with all that I have to manage, that's just what I have to do. Now, when it comes to fertilization, again, up until this year, I was still fertilizing the same way that I was watering. I would take the top off. I would fill up my 2-gallon container with water and my fertilizer. I would pour it on the top and let it trickle all the way down. Same method. It would take me 2 or 3 of 1 2-gallon thing for each container. But now I have a backpack sprayer that I use in my backyard, and that's what I use to fertilize with. That goes a lot quicker and a lot easier. So that method is called foliar feeding. And so that's, again, it's going to spray the fertilizer on the leaves. And so for me, I can get that done, especially my green stalks, in about 5 or 10 minutes, which works out much better for me. What is my favorite thing to grow in the green stalk? Y'all don't make me pick. I got to pick one thing? Let me get 2 things. Okay, my favorite thing to grow in the green stalk, that is a hard one. But if I had to pick, it's going to be like the leafy greens. And that's because I love to see them so full, kind of billowing out of the green stalk. So lettuce and kale and spinach and herbs. See, it's hard to pick, but I love that kind of stuff just billowing out. But if I had to pick a second one, let me pick a second one. It'd be flowers. I love seeing flowers in my green stalk. Absolutely beautiful. It brings me so much joy. Like my 3 tiers, I primarily only use for flowers because so it kind of breaks up my green stalks and the vegetables that I have growing. And so I'll have a 3-tier kind of in between of nothing but flowers. And that just brings me so much joy. But probably my favorite thing to grow in the green stalk is probably leafy greens or herbs.
So what is my favorite thing to grow in the green stalk? I'm gonna say beans. That's gonna be my favorite thing to grow, although there are so many other things that I love growing in the green stalks. And I'm saying beans because they grow so well. I just need to make sure that I water them because, like I said, beans don't need a lot of fertilizer, and beans roots are kind of shallow. So I'm pretty sure they would work fine in the leaf planter as well. I grow mine in the original, but I think beans are my favorite just because they are so hands-off aside from watering. And I love the way they look. They get so bushy. You can grow 3 in 1 pocket, which is amazing. So 3 plants in 1 pocket. That's awesome. So I've already got 30 pockets, and then I'm putting 3, triple the amount of plants into 1 green stalk. So I'm gonna go with beans is my favorite thing to grow in my green stalks. What are my favorite accessories? My absolute favorite accessory, and I think it is necessary unless your green stalk is in the middle of a yard and all sides of it get sun. My most favorite is the spinner base. I don't have one green stalk that is not on a spinner base. I really do find them helpful and actually necessary for me growing in green stalks. My second favorite accessory are the trellises, the ones that you can stick down into the pockets to hold the plants up. They do really well with beans. They have held up my zucchini plant this year. I really like them. I need more. I missed that last really good sale, so I need to purchase some more though. But yeah, that's my second favorite. And then my third favorite are the lids that have the little bees on them. I think they're so cute. I like that I can hang my water hose from it. And as I understand it, the water hose will hang from the top without having the lid. I think they're cute. I don't know that they actually keep things out because I've opened it and it has had spiders in it, but it does keep debris out. So big leaves, things like that, doesn't really keep bugs out. I have not seen that it keeps bugs out. I still like it. I still get it with each one of my green stalks.
One of my favorite green stalk accessories, hands down, my #1 favorite accessory is the ultimate spinner kit. My audience knows I call it a game changer. If you're gonna have a green stalk, when you order your green stalk, just go ahead and order the ultimate spinner kit because it allows you to spin your green stalk around. It comes in handy when you may have to move it, or if you're trying to get one, like you can see on mine, it's kind of up against my house. And so if I want one side to get more sun or just make sure that it's getting fair sun all the way around, I can spin it around. It makes it easier when it's time to plant. I don't have to kind of try to get behind the Greenstalk. I can just spin it around. It's wonderful. That is by far my number one accessory, is the ultimate spinner kit with wheels. Every single Greenstalk that I own, that I have, is sitting on the ultimate spinner kit with wheels. By far, hands down, period, end of discussion, number one. What are my top 2 favorite Greenstalk colors? Y'all, these are some hard questions. Why you gonna make me pick 2? Oh my goodness. I have, let's see, how many do I have out here? I have 7, and then I have 2 down in my hot tunnel. But I would say this is seasonal because they come out with colors, new colors all the time. In this season right here today, my top 2 colors are the raspberry and the snow. Let's go take a look at the raspberry, shall we? Let's go take. It is by far my favorite raspberry color right now. It is the raspberry. And when it first came out, I missed it. But as soon as it came back out again, I was like, I gotta have it. Oh my goodness, it brings me so much joy. This pop of color is like this fuchsia, hot pink. Y'all, it is absolutely beautiful to me. Absolutely beautiful. Of course, I like all the colors out here because otherwise I wouldn't have them, right? But my second favorite that I was surprised about is the snow. I was thinking I wouldn't like the white or the snow, that it would get dirty. It doesn't get dirty any more than the other ones, but it's definitely, and I wish I would have gotten in a bigger tier. But this is by far my second favorite color right now. But they're coming out with new colors all the time, so I'm subject to change, because before the raspberry, the blackberry down there was my favorite color, which is that dark, dark purple. But those are my 2 favorite colors when it comes to Greenstalk right now, the raspberry and the snow.
What are my favorite Greenstalk colors? My top 2 favorite Greenstalk colors. Number 1 is gonna be blackberry. We all know my favorite color is purple. And so blackberry was the color that came out, and it was like, oh, purple, purple, deep purple. So I really like the blackberry, but I also really love the raspberry. The raspberry is the first color I saw, and I said, oh, I really want a Greenstalk. I did not order it at the time. And then I saw the lilac, and that's where I said, I'm getting that. And so my favorite colors are blackberry and raspberry. Never mind these beans right here. They are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm letting my black beans dry on the plant. Anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed this video of me and Barbara answering some of your questions. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Also, if we missed something and you have a question about something, go ahead and leave a comment. Me and Barbara will both be working the comments. Don't forget to visit Barbara's channel. Like I said, I think that you will absolutely love it. And good luck once again on the giveaway. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Bye, y'all.